What's up, y'all? It's your boy Ja, and we back with another podcast. So, you know how we only do one take here? Like I don't edit the videos. Um, so I just recorded a video, and I started it over because I said a series of curse words, and the thing is, I have no problem with cursing. I love cursing. I love it. I love curse words. Only thing is I'm being a good guy and following the rules of YouTube because I appreciate the platform. If YouTube let you curse, I'll be cursing like a. Don't get me wrong. I don't want to get here and get y'all to thinking that it's not that I don't want to curse. It's just I appreciate the platform that I'm using, right? And this platform seems to appreciate when you don't curse that much. So I restarted the video. But the topic of the video was, oh, and I also will never sit there and try to go edit a video. I'm done doing that. Like I will restart a video, right, and do another take, right. But when I say one take, I mean as in like I'm not gonna sit there and edit a freaking video, bro. I was a video editor for like 3 years, bro. Editing all times, day and night, re-editing, downloading, transferring the video, da 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 da. No. So for clarification, when I say one take, that doesn't mean that I'm only gonna take one video and post it every time. That means I'm just not gonna edit it. Okay? All right. So, topic of the day, y'all, is you know, people are too focused on trying to be attractive other than getting what they were trying to attract. Catching my drift? Like, people think like, oh, like what I want in life is to be more attractive, or let's say more successful. It's not just attraction. People say, oh, I want to be more successful, or I want to be whatever, right? They think they want to be these things, okay? But really, they want to be these things because they feel like if they have these things, then they'll be allowed to feel a certain way. Then, like, oh, okay, if I'm attractive, right, then I could feel better about myself, right? Or if I'm successful, I can feel better about myself and my legacy, right? So we try to get the tool to get the end result, and this is what sends people through loops, right, of dissatisfaction, because the tool actually doesn't, it's not like a key. It doesn't actually give you the end result. You're giving yourself the end result. It's just now that you have this key, you have now allowed yourself to mentally unlock the feeling of feeling good about yourself, right? Because that's all you actually wanted. This whole time, you just wanted to feel good about yourself. That's why people do everything they do. They're just trying to figure out how to feel good, right? Some people maybe are doing better or more effectively than others with that. But everybody is just trying to figure out how to feel good, right? That's why people eat, right? We eat because when we're hungry, we feel uncomfortable, right? That's basically what it is. Long story short, so we eat, right? And since we have to eat, right? That's our belief, right? That we have to eat. Then we transmuted eating into a process that we actually enjoy. We start making it good. We start putting seasoning. We start having dessert. We start having different meals, right? But the whole idea is we did all that to what? Get to the end result of just feeling better. That is all. That is so many people's whole story, is they're just trying to figure out how to feel better. And I'm telling you, that is the biggest waste of time, because figuring out how to feel better doesn't equal feeling better. Eating healthy foods doesn't equal feeling healthy. All right? This is where people got to debunk stuff, bro. Because in any situation, you can find someone that eats healthy, and is still unhealthy. You can find someone that works out and is still fat and ugly. You can find somebody on the reverse that's ugly and fat but still gets all the women or all the guys they want, right? Never got cheated on. Versus you find someone that's beautiful and got cheated on like every relationship, did dirty, never taken serious, right? So people think they have to have the tool, right, to get the end result, right? They think, oh, to have a good relationship and a long-lasting relationship, I have to be attractive. I have to have my life together. All these circumstances, right? And then what people do is they spend their whole life trying to get those circumstances perfect because they are assuming that it's not perfect. That's the first problem. They're assuming that their life is not good. So now they have to do something about it. So they spend their whole life trying to get their life to a good point, right? You hear that? You hear people say that all the time. I'm just trying to get to a good point, bro. Bro be basing their whole life off of that good point. When I get to that good point, it's over with, bro. Right? So they spend their whole life trying to get to that good point. Then when they finally get to that good point, they have the what? The shocker. They realize the good point doesn't equal satisfaction. Whole time, you just wanted satisfaction, right? You just wanted to feel like you are satisfied, right? Like you have something, right? But people spend their whole life trying to get something and never feel like they have something. You could spend your whole life, people spend their whole life trying to figure out how to be financially stable in order to have a happy life. And then they get financially stable and they realize happiness has nothing to do with finances. Happiness is its own game that you can learn how to play and win at completely separate of finances. Happiness and finances do not have to correlate. We are the ones that take two different worlds and say, without you, there's no you. Without money, there's no happiness. Without happiness, there's no money. We're doing this all mentally, by the way. We're sitting in our car driving to Walmart, conjuring up diabolical plans. Without money, there is no happiness. Without happiness, there is no money. That is like our thought process. Like we actually like it sounds cringe when I say it because I'm saying it in that voice, but we actually do it. Like we literally say it in our own voice. Like, I ain't gonna lie, bro. Without money, bro, I don't know if I could be happy. And we literally say that in our head. That sounds like a thought most people would have. People, you'll go to a bar and hear people say shit like that. Man, without money, man, I just been depressed, man, since I've been broke. But then they get money. See, people only talk about success stories, and that's kind of why I feel like people don't realize that like life is a game, because you only hear about times where people like got money and like it worked out. Like you never really hear about when people say like, oh, I got money and then I got extra depressed. Like you don't really hear them, right? All you consistently hear is just, the celebrities, what happened, oh, the good stuff. Oh, I was down bad. I was in poverty. None of that, right? You only hear when like LeBron James type stories. Like those stories, those ideas are heavily pushed, right? Because they actually low key promote suffering. I just dropped a bomb on y'all. Oh my God. Why do you think those stories are so heavily pushed? Do you think people actually care that someone went from poverty to being rich? Like really, while you're trying to get rich, do you actually care that another person went from poverty? No, you don't care. What it does is it makes it sound good to struggle in order to get rich. It makes it sound like, oh no, like Look at LeBron James. He couldn't even afford a meal. Now he's a billionaire. So it's okay to not be able to have a meal right now, y'all. Keep enduring that. keep enduring that, y'all. Because this is making you, no, it's not making you nothing. You're just a person that's deciding to have no meals, bro. We got to get out of this storyline mindset. It's really cutting us, bro. Thinking life is a journey. A journey, gang? A journey, bro. Well, if life is a journey, then why you don't know where you going so bad, then? Why you don't know where you going? If life is a journey, you should know where you going, right? So you freestyling on a journey then. Okay. Anywho, so people spend their whole life trying to get the tool, right? You can sit there, spend your whole life trying to be the most attractive person in the world, and you still will probably never ever find a husband or a wife that you actually want completely, because that game of that is separate from being attractive. Okay? That game is different. Being in a relationship and having somebody you want, having the life you want, having the relationships you want with family members you want is separate than the tools. It's separate than rent being paid. Relationships and money and all these are all separate things, right? So you gotta look at it like that within your mind, right? You could save a whole lot of time and experience a whole lot of satisfaction in life by not chasing the tool and going straight to the meat, going straight to where the food at, going straight to the course. I'm not eating no appetizers. I'm not trying to get rich in order to feel better about myself. What I'm going to do is I'm going to feel better about myself, and then actually I might get rich off of doing that. That's a good starter mindset. If you want a starter mindset, right? You like, let's say for the people that just want to do the 7-day trial, the people that don't like to commit. You don't want to commit, you want to do a 7-day trial? Start with that. That last mindset I just said. But for the people that want to go all in, I'm going to be honest, bro. If you want to go all in this world, you got to just accept it's a simulation, bro. And what I mean by simulation is like, that don't mean it's fake. That don't mean it's a video game. I'm saying like, you got to accept like there's mechanics to this, and all of this is interconnected in some way. You are influencing what you're experiencing, right? If you can accept that basic belief, you're good. But if you're one of those people that think like, man, I'm just a little dude in the world, the government, oh my God, stereotypes, I can't dodge them. I can't do nothing, just a hustler in the world trying to pave a way. If you one of them dudes, bro, you're cooked. I ain't gonna lie. You cooked, bro. You cooked. You gotta start realizing life is simulation, bro. Or you gonna be hustling and bustling, and every 6 months something gonna happen traumatic. You know what I'm saying? Like, people gotta start like also looking at their life like, if something is happening like every 2 weeks to you, okay, now you got to look at yourself for real. Like, I can see if something happens like once every 3 years, okay, you can kind of say like, oh, that's a fluke. That was random. But if you're one of those people, every 2 weeks something's happening to you that's making you like question your life, gang, you might have to lock in and start telling yourself, like I said, telling yourself what life is about. Don't go read no spiritual book and figure out what life is about. Go tell yourself what life is about in the book, the spiritual book that reflects that theme that you set will appear. I just dropped another bomb on y'all. If I edited videos, I would put like a boom. So just imagine that I'm editing right now. and like I got the dopest edits. Like my videos is like top tier edits, and just like boom, I just came through like I'm, you know what I'm saying, like an action movie, like what's that boy name? Ethan Hunt. Wait, why am I forgetting his name when he's my favorite person in the world? That's crazy. I'm blanking for that. Anywho, so obviously we're on to the next subject because I completely have left that last subject where it is. So that being said, stop chasing the tool, gang. You would look real dumb spending your whole day trying to figure out how to get a fishing pole just to figure out by the end of the day you didn't have any bait. Right? That would be dumb. Knocking on everybody's door. Hey, do you have a fishing pole? Hey, do you have a fishing pole? And they're like, nah, man. Oh, mine's broke. Oh, mine's at my husband's house. Oh, knocking on everybody's door. By the end of the day, you spent like 200 hours. Someone finally is generous enough to say, hey, man, here's a fishing pole. You go back out. You only got about an hour left before the sun drops to fish. You go back out. You go out there, and you realize you ain't got no bait. And let me tell you how chopped this thinking is, because this is how limited we think. We could think like this. You could have spent all day knocking on the door asking somebody, could you have some fish?